Do.
I didn't. A lot of way. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home. Starting out with the bang.
Bang!
Spent the last couple of days up till midnight working for the company he loves so much. And he found out that somebody very important with the company has been watching the last couple of episodes. So Matt's on his best behavior.
Hey, now.
Don't use one of those podcast tools that puts a transcript on there. And I shouldn't give him any ideas. It's fine. I didn't do anything. So you're cool. All right. Moving on. Hi, everybody. Today is our favorite episode of the year. Mike, you're shaking your head. This is just you can't even figure out. You can't control your emotions. You can't put it into words. You're so excited.
Yeah, if you had any question about me having borderline schizophrenia, I don't know. Tonight's the night we find out. No, but I might come down with something. To celebrate tonight, I ordered a lot of Little Caesars for one person. I ordered a cheese crust filled pretzel pizza. I ordered pizza sticks, which is half pizza, half sticks, and I rolled the dice on what they call chicken wings, Matt. But those are some little ass birds. I'm pretty sure those are deep fried crackles if I've ever seen one. So I'm very excited for tonight. I got a cup of caffeine-free coffee, and I'm ready.
Good for you. I had, I know we gave the assignment out there. I had tortellini. I do have to. I'm gonna refresh real quick. I want this to be as the best show we could possibly put on, and I don't have my button up right now. My screen is off center, so I can't actually see the comments. So give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can fix this.
If there's anything
manipulating. Yeah, it worked. I didn't have to sign out. All right.
Nice. I was gonna say, if there's anything that people want more than a pizza ranking of the Detroit Red Wings, it's hearing Matt describe how the podcast sausage is made. Delicious, delicious sausage.
You know what? Every podcast I listen to does this kind of thing. You make
Matt,
such a big deal.
You only listen to our show,
tiniest
though.
thing, and it's just so.
About.
That's true.
You've got our show.
All right, so kind of previewing what's going to be happening.
Yeah. Are you thrown off yet?
So previewing what's happening. You know what? I said that this is the episode we're most excited for. Did you even say what it was? So I was trying to figure out the comments thing. We're gonna rank. We're doing player grades today, but how much fun is it to just go, oh, Dylan Larkin was an A, Ben Chiarot was an F-, but he sure showed physicality. No, that's not fun. That's lame.
It's not. No. This is
we're
hockey
gonna go
town. This is
assign everybody a Little
town.
Caesars pizza item.
Yeah, we play our home games in Little Caesars Arena, so we're going to rank them best on the... We're going to try and find some high-quality items at Little Caesars to rank our good players, and then there's the not-as-good items that we might use for, I don't know, I'm sure Matt's got one geared up for Mr. Fabbri, so we'll see how that goes. But I know we got a little bit of business before we jump right into it, Matt. Did you have a few things for us here?
Yeah,
related to drafts
for our next couple of episodes. Yeah, can you not hear me? You talk. I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to. Okay, I just want to make sure because you've talked over every time I've started talking, so I'm a little concerned that I'm delayed. I'm just trying to
Jamie Kako all your lines. That's all.
All right, now I'm pissed. Now I'm going to be a little bitch about it. Okay. So what I have up now for all the YouTube viewers, it's our top 32 coming from Elite Prospects. what we're going to be doing is going through these guys. I think what we could do is for our 2023 draft, probably combine Bedard, Fantilli, Michkov, maybe Leo Carlson too into one episode. Because honestly, like that's where our heads are going to be at, right? If you get one, you're an idiot if you don't take Connor Bedard. If you try to like outsmart the system or something. If you're pick number 2, I think you should take Adam Fantilli, but I just, maybe a Michkov or Leo Carlson's on Yzerman's mind. But if that doesn't happen, we're really not going to get, without like a trade or something, we're not, or somebody falling back, we're not really going to touch our other boys here. And also these guys are highly ranked. We've been talking about them all year. I don't think you need a full episode or a conversation or something like that devoted to Connor Bedard and Adam Fantilli. And of course, we'd lap it off for Michkov as well. But again, full episode, is it completely necessary? We're going to say these boys are badass. And they've been kicking ass wherever they go. What else are we going to say? So we'll try and give a little more detail than that. But, that's one episode. I think we can lap a bunch of these guys together. And then we're going to start making it interesting.
Oh, no. And we're going to start looking at the guys
maybe,
who are going to be where our likely draft spot is at number 9 and 10. Hope you guys are in love with
we're
Braden
still going to
Yeager.
talk Zach Benson, Will Smith. We're still going to talk Zach Benson, Will Smith, Andrew Cristal, Edward Sale, Dalibor Dvorsky, Braden Yeager, Oliver Moore, Ryan Leonard, Axel Sandin, Pelika, Colby Barlow, Nate Danielson, Mikhail Gulyayev, Riley Height, Callum Ritchie, and David Reinbacher. We'll talk about all these guys because we have another first round pick. We could be trading up using that first round pick from the New York Islanders, or we could trade back and do something with that. If we feel like these guys, I don't know. It's hard to make a case right now. Like if you're looking at a Dalibor Dvorsky and you're getting the call for somebody who really wants to trade up, maybe you make the move and hope that you're going to hit the lottery in the second round, or the third round. Just bring in some more. Of course, we got 3 picks in the second round, so we'll start hitting that later through May. We've got a ton of time, but kind of just one of those things. We get you guys prepped up before May 8th. All right. Mission accomplished, Mike. We're number 9. All right. So here's what we're looking at. A 5% chance to land the first pick and a 5.2% chance to land the second pick. We've got a 64.4% chance to land the 9th pick, 23.5% chance to land the 10th pick, and a 1.7% chance to land the 11th pick.
Oof.
Now, the way that you'd want to map these out is you don't want to go directly, I think it's more important that you're thinking of it not along the Detroit line, but up and down the first pick line. Does that make sense?
The way I want to look at it is
so the reason that's important to say,
listen.
I don't want you saying we have a.
I'm going to say it because I think I'm about to say what you don't want me to say, Matt. My beloved Pistons.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, the audio is a little bit off on your end. The Pistons have, I think, a 14% chance to get the number 1 pick, even though they were a complete diarrhea this season. And the way those numbers track out, for the Red Wings odds to draft 1, 2, or 3, it makes it just a little bit more digestible for me to think that, no, it's not a 5% chance and then a 5% chance. I'm just going to say we have a big whopping 10% chance to draft first or second, because it makes it feel like there's a little bit more likelihood of things not, falling the way they have been over the past couple of years.
I do listen to our podcast, and you said that last week, and I started thinking about it, and I just let it slide. But the reason that makes no sense is that they don't say, they don't pull up the Detroit Red Wings bucket and decide what our pick's going to be. They pull out each pick and pull out a team. So that's why the 10% added together doesn't make sense.
It does, though, because if you think about where the Red Wings could possibly draft, if we did this 100 times, 10 times, we'd have the first or second pick. I think you need to go with it, man.
It changes after you pick. Like right now, that's where we're standing. Like there's a if Anaheim landed the first pick, then all of this other stuff falls in line. It's a little. I think it's different from what the math you've got in your head.
Matt, I think if anything is better than explaining how the sausage is made, it's Matt explaining how the NHL draft lottery odds work.
But if that was the case, like, then you'd have to add up, like look at Anaheim and Columbus. If we have a 10% chance, do they also I mean, we're going to be above 100% once we add everybody's totals together on the first and second line.
Yeah, but I think you gotta look at it cumulatively, Matt. Like,
no, but it's wrong.
We have a pick coming, and 10% of the time when they set these up, that's where we could fall is 1 or 2.
So that
I don't want to hear about once one is drawn. Okay, now all the odds completely reset. Yeah, I know, Matt. That's not fun. Nobody wants to operate in the realm of technically the way the odds will reset. Ugh. You're not even wearing the right glasses for that explanation, Matt.
We're not doing that. I'm telling people what the fact is. I'm not like
Matt. The fact is 5 + 5 = 10, and 10 is better than 5, and we're gonna get a 10% chance at the first or second best player in the whole draft.
But if you went up and down this line and added that together for all the teams, you'd have
added what all together?
100%. The chances of each team.
What?
Stop. That's the truth. That's what we're going with moving forward. We have
the Red Wings
goal
row
today. Huh?
Yeah. I'm looking at the Red Wings row, man. GLG, thank you for having my back. Okay, his deep dish. No, we need to skip that for right now because there's a much more important one where he said, and now joining the podcast is MIT mathematician wannabe Matt Klink.
I can't educate the masses.
Matt, you're patronizing the masses. That's what you're doing.
No. I'm doing the opposite. I'm making you angry.
Somebody was watching Good Will Hunting all weekend. Somebody's watching Good Will Hunting all weekend and thought, I'm going to bring that to the podcast. And Dan B, I have some questions too, Dan. I thought we were out of the running for the third pick. How did that happen?
Yeah, this is coming from Tankathon. I didn't even mention it when I ran down these numbers because...
Sorry, Dan. Matt's playing 4D chess, and somehow we also have odds at the fourth pick. We'll see.
I don't even know where that's coming from. Doesn't even say 4 on my list. And this is from Tankathon.
It might next week. Don't blame Tankathon,
right.
Matt. Tankathon didn't make that slide. You did. Take some accountability.
Here's what's happening.
Yeah. I'm hyped up on decaf coffee right now.
There's going to be a fight by the end of this episode. I know it. This is going to be one of those where Mike and I, when we're done,
man,
you guys
I'm gonna slap you with a hot and ready.
Oh, see, it's going to happen. You guys don't know this, but there's been a few episodes where we've had very serious talks at the end. And God damn it all to hell is one of those motherfucking talks is happening at the end of this one.
I like Righteous's idea. We just pick where we want.
Oh.
Probably pick number 9. You know, everything in moderation. You know, that's where we deserve to be. We'll just pick it number 9. I like it.
Yeah, I like Dan continued too. How are we getting third? And then he goes, not that I'm complaining. I'll take it. Okay. So what are we here to do? We're here to grade out the 2022-23 season.
Ooh.
GLJ, what did he throw out there? I have to be honest and say that the Little Caesars Detroit deep dish is underrated, not to be confused with the Detroit Red Wings Detroit deep dish drop pass, which is overrated. I was thinking of the deep. Don't they call it the deep dish? So I saw all these D's and I started going in that direction. Is it not?
I don't know. It's a lot of adjectives for one noun.
Up right here.
Yeah. But yeah, if this is your first time doing this with us, every publication, every podcast has some sort of scoring ranking of the team, the players, Maybe it's a letter grade. Maybe it's a star system. Not here. God damn it. We judge you with Little Caesars menu items.
So I did a couple of things here too, just to give you guys an idea of like what the season looked like for each one of these players. So here's from what's his name? Jay Fresh. Forward, wins above replacement. This is your WAR stat with the shooting adjusted. So this means that we've adjusted for the ice time, and like our boy here, Suter, is going to be ranked number 2 under Dylan Larkin for WAR. That's right. If Dylan Larkin got traded, Mike, your MVP for the Detroit Red Wings on a shooting adjusted mapping of all Detroit Red Wings forwards, WAR, Suter would be your MVP, Mike. How do you feel about that? We don't have a Jared aboard. He's probably being a good hockey fan and watching hockey right now. But
I will say that based on the chart, it looks very impressive. Based on what he looks like when he's on the second line, I don't take a lot out of this chart.
Well,
I think that he is.
You have a solid fourth liner. Solid.
You have a very solid fourth liner.
Very solid fourth liner. Hey, I'm waving my hand a little bit for the podcast listeners, like calling him like solid bottom sixer because dude, some of that solid chips away. Middle six? Nope. We'd have to see more to say solid middle six. And to Mike's point, top six? Absolutely not. Solid fourth liner. Doing great. I'm pointing at the graph. But here's the ranking though, shooting adjusted. So basically, you have a job. Are you doing that job well? Larkin, Suter, Perron, Rasmussen, Zadina, Czarnik, Soderblom, Kubalik, Luff, Berggren, and then we get into the negative. Chiasson, Lucas, Raymond, Joe Veleno, Robbie Fabbri, Adam Erne, Andrew Copp. I think it's official that we could say Lucas Raymond's season wasn't as great as the first season because the first season came equipped with all of the success that this was year number 1. Are we saying that this is a complete failure? No, but there's 2 seasons in. We don't have to play this fucking game anymore of, well, it's just a couple weeks in. If he hasn't gotten a point yet, you give him some time. Over the whole season, compare the first 2 seasons. First one was better. I'm gonna stick with that. And then this is a great representation of that. And we will get into later on in the show. You'll see some charts for Mr. Lucas Raymond. For anybody not on the podcast, highly recommend you see these charts. But we're gonna use those charts. We're gonna use them. Damn it. We're gonna use them and turn them into a pizza.
Ooh,
that's what's missing. There's no pie graphs.
Pizza pie.
Mike mentioned that. Mike mentioned that earlier in a text today. He wanted more pie graphs. I said no. Nay. We will supply the pie graphs with our imagination today.
Oh, nothing better than imaginary pizza.
This one was fun. Defenseman wins above replacement with the shooting adjusted. It's fun. Jake Walman kicking everybody's ass. Wow. Robert Hagg, number 2 on the team, the only other positive scoring for WAR. Number 3 in the negative, Simon Edvinsson. Number 4 in the negative, Moritz Seider, Olimata, Jordan Oesterle, Gustav Lindstrom, and Mike, even when adjusting for whatever you did with Ben Chiarot and when he was out on the ice, still dead stinking last. See, this is why I got for Christmas, I should have shown this off. You guys probably would have enjoyed this, but I got a cameo from Joe Veleno. And he said, why don't you guys have me on the podcast sometime? Like, that's what he said in the cameo. Yeah. And, this is probably why they're never going to join us, because we take huge dumps on his teammates that he spends all of his time with. Okay. So let's jump in for our first player. I just want to let you guys know these are all ranked. So we have Jay Fresh's charts, right? These guys are ranked by the 2022-23 season goals above replacement for the entire team. And we're going from worst to best, except for one adjustment, and I'll explain at the end just because, I don't know. It made sense to me. There's one guy who needed a mat adjustment, no shooting adjustments. So definitely my own opinion getting pushed in there.
Some old mat adjustments. We're used to that in the fantasy hockey league. So can't wait to see where this goes, man.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to tell by all of the graphs and charts that we're going to throw at you.
Real quick before you dive in, Matt, Dan B saying it's a good thing Newsy doesn't use this stat because that would mean more Hagg and less Seider.
Well, Dan, I like that you called that out, but again, it's like representative of what the role is what that thing is trying to do. So you're not using it to say like this guy needs to be on the first pair. But you can use it to say, hey, we went through, I guess, half a season with Jake Walman on the first pair. I think we could keep rolling with this. So there's that. I know probably, Dan, you are leaning into making a joke here, and I'm taking it seriously. But I did just want to throw that out there when you're looking at that. Like, how did these guys perform based on what their role was with the team? So that's how that scoring's kind of adjusted. If we did it without it being adjusted, you'd see Seider ranked up a little bit higher. But then again, we all know like he didn't have like a Norris level season. So when he's being compared across the league, of course, it's going to be a little bit lower than like say an Adam Fox or oh my God, Erik Karlsson. Okay. Righteous says, I think Veleno would be good on the pod. I you know what? This will be a thing we'll share over the summer since we'll have to figure out what other content we're going to be making. But here's a preview of Joe Veleno. Mike, you saw it. For some reason,
I think the toughest part would be that we would have to request to keep his shirt on. Lest we feel we need to get competitive and also take our shirts off and burn the eyeballs of everybody who watches us on YouTube.
3 shirtless boys. That's the way to roll. But yeah, completely.
We got a new name for the show when we add Veleno. Yeah,
he's in his hotel room, buck naked. Definitely can see from waist up. And at one point, he nods to some other dude in the room, and they're just like, "What's up?" Like, just doing my naked cameos. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's another hockey podcast kid. Watch this. I'm gonna show him my dong.
All right. So here's our last frame here. Larkin heading into Little Caesars. This is actually where I wanted to like put out all the rules, but guys, I want to hear what pizza you want to throw on each one of these guys. And the first one, like I said, ranked by goals above replacement, Gustav Lindstrom. Just a big old turd sandwich across the board. Yes, lower than Ben Chiarot. Mike, it's our first challenge. I thought it actually might get easier the later we got into this.
Yeah.
Or do you want it back? Let me ask you one question. Everybody start thinking about your Gustav Lindstrom pizzas. Mike, I was wondering, everybody across the board right now is writing their silly little article that says the Detroit Red Wings need more scoring. No shit. Should we decide right now a pizza, the Little Caesars menu item that's saved for next season for when we trade for that scorer, and we may bestow that crown upon their head? Because nobody on this team, while we have our MVP selected, I do. Arguably, there's a pizza we should save for next season for that scorer that we're being told Yzerman knows he needs to get and he's looking for. Or do we just say fuck it and just keep going? I kind of thought of the idea on the drive home from work today.
I think my only beef with that is this is a Little Caesars team. And if we bring in somebody who actually knows what they're doing, it's like when you're a little kid and you've been eating Little Caesars your whole life. Yeah. Your parents are like, it gets so much better, and they take you to Olive Garden. So I think we'll end up picking an Olive Garden dish for our new acquisition next season.
Love that. We will upgrade to a better restaurant.
I don't know if it's going to be a pasta al forno, if it's the bottomless breadsticks, but this is going to be a guy with bottomless goals, filling up that stat sheet. Yeah. But we're not even there yet. We got to, GLG, look at you. You and your sweet nothings over there. Take you to Buddy's Pizza. Mwah. Stop reading my old live journals, you old flirt. I love me some Buddy's Pizza. Gustav Lindstrom, Matt, didn't quite crack the top 6 defenseman. Or 7 or 8. Sometimes our 9th defenseman, Matt.
Can I tell you? I have the right answer because of what you just said.
Matt, I'll let you take this one.
I'm gonna go Diet Pepsi on this.
Ooh.
Diet Pepsi, for the sake of what you just explained. It's very rare. I'm gonna go into a Little Caesars and buy a $3 20-ounce Diet Pepsi. I do not need that bottle of soda pop. We don't need it. It's there. If I was thirsty and I needed it, if I needed to fill out my roster, if I'm Derek Lalonde, I've got injuries across the board. I got to figure out what's going on with Lindstrom. I'll put him in there. Yeah, for sure. If I'm thirsty, I'm about to die. That's the only thing I have left. That's the only thing Lalonde had left. Got to toss it in there. Mike, I'm going Diet Pepsi. 20-ounce Diet Pepsi on the Little Caesars menu.
I like that a lot because NHL does still have a salary floor. Am I right? You have to hit a certain threshold.
Yes.
So it kind of feels like when you go to Little Caesars and you want to use the 3 off of 18 coupon, and you're at $17.99, so you have to buy the least expensive thing the restaurant.
Perfect.
And you're like, okay, I'll just give me a fucking Mountain Dew, and we're all out of Mountain Dew. Okay, just cherry Pepsi. No, regular Pepsi. No. What do you got? I have 3 flat. We shook them up, opened them, shook them again, put them back in the bottle. Diet.
We tested them.
Diet.
They are flat.
Yeah. Not only are they diet 2 liters, they're half empty. So the only way I can save $3 is to take this off your hands. Yes. Okay, I will have 3 diet half full Gustav Lindstroms.
Boom. Jared throws out there a flat Diet Pepsi. Dan B, vegetarian. Good for you, but not good.
We're going to come back to that one.
Righteous says,
easy. I like.
I know it's
pineapple.
Controversial. Righteous is going easy. Pineapple.
That one pineapple might and bacon. All right.
That might show up later for your player we like. I got my hands up like Righteous is going to shoot me.
Pineapple and ham, no, but pineapple and bacon. All right. Super sweet with super salt. All right. Just come back.
GLJ, not even a Pepsi Zero. Jared throwing out the additions on here. Left at room temperature, not even in the refrigerator. Jared
throwing some shade at Gustav. Man, whew. We didn't even get the Chiarot yet.
Woo. All right. Well, we have Gustav on the show next week. I'm kidding. All right. Next up, Mr. Robbie Fabbri. If you guys are looking at the charts, it has been a steady decline. Lalonde mentioned him, and I think Steve might have mentioned him in the end of the year press conference about how important his goal scoring is. Sure. So he's had a 52% projected WAR because of the 2020-2021 season. He's got great finishing, but headed in the wrong direction clearly, and the injuries are just, God, it's heartbreaking. But that's the storyline. Mike, what do you got?
Mr. Fabs, you know, he's a little bit of something to everybody and not a lot to the rest of us. And I got to say, there's one menu item that really jumped out at me. I don't know if this is controversial or not, but Little Caesars has introduced the 14-inch large 4-in-1 pizza. Matt, this is 4 different types of pizza put into one. So you get 2 slices of pepperoni and Italian sausage, 2 with ham and green pepper, 2 with cheese, and 2 just pepperoni. Matt, you know what I see? I see a lot of people unsatisfied because there's not enough just pepperoni slices. There's not enough with just the ham. It just doesn't work. And, you know, this is a guy who tries to give us a little burst of energy, right? Sometimes he scores a little. Sometimes he hits a guy. But his numbers are just in the toilet because he's just pulling in all different directions. And if he just focused and been just one cohesive pizza, I think he could make it work. And instead, he's trying really hard in a lot of areas, and he's just not excelling in one single spot.
And it could be, Mike, that was beautiful. And I absolutely 100% agree. And we have to throw in the asterisk. Our boy's coming back from injury and then got injured again. So there's a lot of problems downstairs with the knees. But we're having fun here.
Yeah.
And it's just like that could be the reality of what's going on. But if you have a pizza you don't like, you don't come back and order it because you feel bad for it.
Ken Young tagged mine. Fab's worst contract on the team. This is also an overpriced pizza. They charge you more. They charge you more for not getting anybody feeling satisfied.
Oh, poor Fabbri.
Ken Young. Yeah, I appreciate
it. Breaks my heart. I want to see good things for Fabbri next year, but like if you had to like map it out of the chances of it, All right, moving on before I say something bad. Now remember, guys, these are in order.
Hit me.
From our
oh boy.
Our oh my god, what do you call it? Goals above replacement.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have, you know what? An addendum to that statement. It's expected goals above replacement. So you could put the puck in the net by accident, but I want to see that you're actually in the right spot. Mike, next on the list at 28% WAR over the last 3 seasons and has dipped close all the way down to 0% WAR percentage for this season, Mr. Andrew Copp. PK 71%, looking pretty good over the last 3 seasons. Not so great this last one. I should mention too what you guys are looking at on YouTube. You're looking at the player card for the last 3 seasons for each player. You can see a graph that'll show the ups and downs of their WAR percentile per season. And then you have your 2022-23 graph for each player on the right side from Evolving Hockey. Special teams, not great for Mr. Copp this year. As you could see, like the expected goals for per 60 and goals for per 60. There are moments he looked good, but production for while he was on the ice was obviously down. And we saw better Copp in the second half, but this is reflective of the whole season. So
it is.
Yeah.
The Mr. Copp, I'm going to take a little bit of a detour, Matt. You know why? Because today, in honor of this episode, I ordered myself way too much Little Caesars pizza for one person. And it turns out the app is not available at all Little Caesars locations, which kind of blew my mind. And I feel like that's a pretty good way to describe Andrew Copp. He's a Little Caesars location that doesn't offer all the tools that we were promised on the app. It hasn't happened yet. There's a promise that things are getting better, that they're being developed, but just it's not there yet. And so I had to go a little bit out of my way to find another center. And if I go pick it up, I can get it, but I couldn't use the app. I couldn't get the coupon. So I felt a little inconvenienced, even though eventually I did technically get a second line center. So it was a little discouraging, a little frustrating, but things are supposed to be better next year.
I love that answer. I'm gonna give the nod. Dan B and Jared have great answers too. Dan B, Copp equals a severely undercooked pizza. I like it. You got a half of a season that doesn't really count. We saw some solid play. I'm going to eat an undercooked pizza, but it's not that perfect pizza, right? I might accept on here, Dan B, like, let's go like vegetarian, because like an undercooked vegetarian pizza, because even for myself, when it is fully cooked, I see its need. I see it's serviceable, but certainly there's players out there who are going to make that huge difference on the team, and Copp will have a role once we get a full season of healthy Copp, right? Undercooked veggie pizza. Mike, you probably like the veggie pizza. I'm not a huge fan of the veggie pizza. Jared throws out there, Copp is the pepperoni pizza that got dropped on the ground. Still delivered.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what the app is, I plan on, visiting that location and feeling like I can count on it a little bit more once it's, up and operational. But it's it's a more modern app. It's a more modern pizza restaurant, and I just want Copp to catch up to the rest of us.
Next on the list, Ben Chiarot.
Oh boy. Woo! Woo! Matt, let's hear the numbers first.
Numbers, 4% projected WAR percentage. It's not, I mean, we could look at that little tiny graph there next to Ben. We knew this was coming. This has been years of performance for Ben Chiarot. And Mike, he's a defenseman, and he's going to come in with one of the worst Corsi against per 60. Again, those are attempts on net. So we're talking, doesn't matter how much time on ice he's got. Doesn't matter that he was on the first pair. We're comparing everybody, dividing it, per second, and then multiplying it to get up to 60 minutes. Mike, one of the worst in the league. Just gives up chances like nothing. Special teams, 32 minutes this year, so he wasn't counted on any of, okay, he was counted on it for 32 minutes, but also trending negatively, but you can't really judge it. It's not that much. So,
Yeah. Chiarot, Little Caesars has this fascinating phenomenon for me. I'm really big on leftovers. I really love leftover pizza, like microwaving it, especially if it's got like stuffed crust. Jared with a really good answer. Chiarot is dirty mop water, was useful in the past for someone else. So, I have this idea in my head of, like what a guy likes to throw down, get physical, right? Kind of that expectation. I've, known that to be a good hockey experience in the past. I'm used to microwave pizza the next day being really good. Mm-hmm. And Little Caesars has a shelf life of roughly a box of McDonald's French fries. You've got to eat it in 5 minutes or it's complete garbage. And this guy
goes along with the age of Chiarot as well.
He was so bad. It was as if they left him in that hot and ready box, left him in the shelving the day before, and then served it to you next to a perfectly good cider pizza. And it was so bad it made both pizzas taste really, really bad. So that's how awful he was. He made my Mo cider pizza, which is coming, that much worse.
So I like what you're saying. This might make sense to like say what cider is, but when you pair what cider's menu item will be in the future here with another item you knew was going to be bad and you're giving it a shot anyway. Mike, I think you experienced this today. I'm going Caesar wings on this one. And I think specifically, I'm going to go garlic Parmesan Caesar wings because you know what? Let me call out GLJ here real quick in a positive way, G. I like that. G. I'm going to call you G. The thing I will say about Chiarot, this is GLJ, is that he and Edvinsson kind of seem to mesh, maybe. Trying to find the positives. When he's not skating all over the place and blowing assignments. So here's the thing. There have been times where on our Twitter account, like we've shared like, oh my God, this is what Ben Chiarot is supposed to do. I've clipped out the video. Everybody's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Why doesn't he get a little bit more physical, like 100% of the time and stop pulling himself, like pinching when we don't need the pinch and pulling himself out of the wrong position and putting Moritz cider all over the ice, right? So I'm going Caesar wings. Again, coming back to this reason that we kind of knew it was going to go bad. Mike, you get Caesar wings you're getting roasted wings from Little Caesars and you're going to trust them with Parmesan garlic sauce. That's not only you knew this is a bad decision, it's going to play out to not even be tasty. And I'm like, that thing's coming back to bite you the next day. God forbid you double up the sauce and you make it spicy.
Oh, yeah. As someone who ordered the wings today, the sauce doesn't really stick. So you kind of have, it's not really chicken either. It's kind of like a grackle, like those kind of dark brown birds that'll eat all the seeds in your grass. So picture grackles, the little, Caesar man running out there in his toga, grabbing some grackles, pulling their wings off, deep frying them. And the sauce doesn't really stick. He just kind of plops them in some yellow soup that tastes like garlic. So that's a lot what the wings will remind you of.
Jared says, now I want garlic parm wings. Well, you've got it, Jared. You've got it on your second pair. Damn it. Danimal says, Chiarot, starving for a good pizza, but you found a Band-Aid and a few hairs in your pizza and it killed your appetite. think I
Now,
read that
Danimals,
grammatically
I
incorrect,
do have a
but-
question for you, and you can answer in the chat. Is it more disgusting to find the Band-Aids or the hair?
Depends, right? What's on the Band-Aid? What's in the little white pad? You know, is it red now? Is it brown? Is it black?
Well, if it's red, right? That means it could just be pizza sauce, which is not so bad. But we got to move on, man. We're at 40 minutes. We've graded like 4 players. We got to get cooking.
All right, Adam Erne, just hot dog shit. Every way you look at this, 19% WAR. That's actually built up from the 2021 season when we got like that 10-game point streak from Erne. He got paid like he was supposed to. In the bottom 10% now for the last 2 seasons. Mike, that Evolving Hockey Rap'em chart has him near last in the league in almost every possible statistic except for expected goals per 60. Not bad, Adam. Doing good. He's in the positive. So he'll let up a ton of shots on net, but they're maybe not the best shots. So not bad, Mike.
Yeah,
based on that,
he's kind of meaty. He's a salty old dog, and I won't give him a full pizza. I'll give him an item. That ham and pineapple pizza. I don't think he's a pineapple. It's not that he's for, very I don't think he has like a real bipolar or a polarizing relationship with the fans. Or some people really love some Erne, or some people really hate him. He's just kind of a salty meatwad. I think he's the ham that goes on a Little Caesars pizza. It's ham, I guess. It's pink, it's meat. It's on the ice.
Yeah.
Ice helped us ice a team. Give me those weird rectangular prisms of ham that nobody on earth cuts except for the chefs, the head chef at Little Caesars.
You think somebody's cutting those?
Oh, somebody's, really busting the buns in the morning at 5 a.m, prepping all the rectangular prism hams for all those delicious pizzas coming out in the afternoon.
I'm gonna go with the purple gumball and the gumball machine. Adam Erne he's gonna help you out, right? You're waiting for your pizza, right? He'll make sure those chances, even though he's gonna give them up, aren't there. You're getting a useless piece of gum, but you kind of needed it to help you get through the wait, right? Like it's just a quarter. His contract's not destroying us. You're gonna throw a quarter in the gum machine. It's gonna come out and get a little bit of fun there. Yeah. I mean, overall, it doesn't affect you too much. I mean, Erne got sent down to the Grand Rapids Griffins. I don't know why I said the. So it'll be gone. You'll spit it out and you'll have pizza later. Adam Erne, not super great. Just like a gumball. In and out. Just like a.
And you can save it on the chair and bring it back later,
Yeah.
Who we got next, man?
Forgot I do that. Oesterle. All right. I think we can start to speed these up a little bit here. We're talking about another guy in the bottom 10% of the league in WAR, and across the board, just some nasty looking stats from Evolving Hockey, but another guy that's on the ice because what else? What are you going to do? So we do have an opportunity here, Mike. We have an opportunity to double up, maybe go 20-ounce bottle of water on this one, kind of for the same reasons we were talking about Lindstrom. I don't know. It's an actual menu item, so we're not cheating like with the gumball.
I will say he is, if you're on the Little Caesars website, he is the About Us section, because I am never, ever going to click on that if I'm on the Little Caesars website. I'm going to click on the menu. I'm going to click to order. I'll click to contact us to complain about the Chiarot pizza that I got. But I'm not even going to really think about the About Us section on the Little Caesars website. I'm sorry.
Arguably a user error heading to the About section.
Whoops. Yep. Oh, let me back out of that. Oh, I already healthy scratched Edvinsson.
Really,
damn it.
Really Oesterle that one.
Yep.
I like this one. GLJ Oesterle is a Parmesan packet.
That's a really good one. I like that one.
Crimson Shadow. Oesterle is a warm diet Mountain Dew. Ooh. I'll go for that one. Not that I want the warm Mountain Dew. I like Crimson's answer. Jared Shaw, napkins
Well,
that you grab but forget
me-
to use.
I do like Jared Hansen, but I do want to push back. I think Dan B, he said Oesterle napkin inedible but useful. Turns out if you put enough Little Caesars grease on a napkin, kind of edible.
All right, so you pair him.
So I wouldn't call him like a real defenseman, but if you put enough, defenseman grease on him, you'll get him down there. Right. You'll get him in. Yeah.
You get a serviceable defenseman, you can fake it, and you can get through 60 minutes.
I love the Little Caesars roast.
Speaking of serviceable defensemen, Mike, remember this is in order. Goals above replacement. Some of the podcast listeners don't even know who we're oohing it on about, but we are shocked at how low Moritz Seider is ranked this year. Of course, affected by what was our Ben Chiarot? I already forgot. I was going to recap this, but there's no way I'm going to be able to remember.
Nope, I've had too much decaf coffee. We'll keep on trucking. Mo Man. Tell us about the Mo Man.
Moritz Seider, 73% projected WAR, which definitely got the bump from last year's season. And this year, the Ben Chiarot effect. I don't. What can I say? My man had a tough go until he was paired with Mr. Jake Walman, and having two serviceable defensemen play together, Moritz Seider really turned back into Moritz Seider. For me, that's your context. That's your story.
Mo's he's an easy one for me. He had a season that was good, not spectacular, and it feels like he's going to be a staple of this Red Wing menu for the foreseeable future. And that's why he's, for me, the 14-inch large cheese. Because I don't think you go to Little Caesars to avoid meat. You are usually going there to feel disgusting. And the cheese pizza doesn't really do that. You could tell it could have been better. All it needed was some ingredients. It's going to be around a long time. It's just this season was this is a plain cheese pizza season for Seider after his spectacular rookie season. This one he came back down to earth a little bit, and I think he's going to have a much better season next year.
I'm going to push back on that because we like so much what we saw from Jake Walman, or when Walman was paired with Seider.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is I realized we picked Ben Chiarot. I picked him as a Caesar wing. So one of my favorite items on Little Caesars menu, and it has been my favorite for years. I shouldn't even say one of. It is my favorite item. I'm going to give him pepperoni cheese bread. Moritz Seider's pepperoni cheese bread, because I need somebody to soak up as much of that Caesar wing as possible. And I need it to go into the bread, right? But that's also one of my favorite items. I mean, you get pepperoni cheese bread with a good old-fashioned ranch cup. Mwah. That was lunch for me many a year working next to a Little Caesars at a Cold Stone Creamery. I like it. Like, this is a solid Moritz Seider. We know why things were a struggle. It was also, start out slow, sophomore slump. We call it a sophomore slump because it happens so often. But he really turned things around and gave us the Moritz Seider we know and love in the second half. And I'm gonna grade it based on that. And that's where Mo is gonna be here forever, and I'd be happy to give him pepperoni cheese bread for the rest of his career.
I know that he can be a better item. I'm sticking with the cheese, but I did want to throw Chewy in there too.
Did you see this one?
Walman is the ranch. Oh,
I thought about that, Chewy, but I do want to. I want to give Walman like a real, you'll see his numbers later. I want to really reward him and pat him on the back.
Okay. No, he just had the other one. Mo's Supreme Pizza is okay at room temp. I just, I think we all wanted just a little bit more, and I don't know if it could really been helped.
Really good one here from Crimson Shadow. Seider with Ben Chiarot. It's a deep dish pizza, but it's delivered 45 minutes late. So you already had to go through the fridge and grab some crackers and some cheese. So by the time it arrived, you're not even hungry. I really like that one, Crimson. All right. GLJ, are we including pretzel crust in this?
Oh, absolutely. That's coming, my friend.
Yeah, that's coming. We're coming.
Oh, yeah. We're getting there.
Next up, Kubalik.
Ooh, Kubi Rubies.
That's right. Great start to the season. Enough for me to just, be excited to see what can happen as this team gets, as Steve put it himself in his conference, little iterative upgrades. So some more iterative upgrades. We don't have to have Kubalik on the first or second line. Maybe he gets dropped down like we saw the beginning of the season, right? Was he on the third line?
Oh, he was cooking. He was all over the place.
Either way, yeah. Well, how we had it with our juiced up line. Saw some offense. Okay, so Kubalik at 43%. We got to start running through these. Sorry.
Yeah. For me, I'm ready. If you.
Yeah, go for it.
He's for me with the crazy bread. He's the marinara sauce. Okay, because it starts off really good, and then it kind of if you leave it out for a little bit, it's kind of weird. The tomato starts to separate from the water. And it was kind of like his play started to separate a little bit. I mean, you can give it a stir, get it back in the game, but yeah, it was just. I think this one was a little bit easier for me because I can take the marinara in small doses, and then you just got to keep an eye on it. It wasn't perfect all the time.
I like that. Next up, Robert Hagg. You know what? We talked before about how he was, for what his job was, he actually had a pretty good, he had a positive, I'll say that. Ended up with a positive WAR for the season. You can even see on his WAR percentile chart from JFresh, it actually ended up okay. But you're not asking him to do much, is the thing. So does that factor in?
Well, I think Hagg, he's a little bit like, Little Caesars is always understaffed. And so usually the kid who makes the pizzas takes the orders, and he's also got to clean off the counter. Mm-hmm. So I think Hagg is that sanitary rag, just kind of been dipped, for the past 8 hours. And it's an important part of the process because you don't want to see the last guy's pizza grease when you're there to pick up your stuff. But you still see the rag, and it's kind of a reminder, oh, yeah, there's some dirty work that goes into this. So, Hagg, you're the rag.
I mean...
Hey, Crimson! Hagg is the rag. The employees needs to clean up at the end of the shift. I would just say, let's add a caveat, and I think it's the rag that's been there the entire shift, and you have to see that eyesore many a times.
Well... I guess I was trying to make a play that, we could give him some more credit, but like I said, we're going too slow on these, so I'll take it. He's a rag.
There's value in the rag.
Hagg the rag.
Yeah.
Joe Veleno, 31% projected WAR percentage, based off the last couple of seasons. Again, you know what? On that defensive side, expected goals against per 60, he's in the let's see, we break that out into 6th. So I guess he's in the top 1/3 of the league. Whew, man, that was rough. And then doing well again, at least in the positive side, top 50% of the league on Corsi against per 60. Just not doing great production wise or putting offense out there. But you know what? It's in a bottom 6 role, so we're not necessarily asking him to go out there and put goals together. I kind of like. So here's where my head is with this, because coming back to getting a nude video from Joe Veleno for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of sweet. I think he's a good boy. We do they do the Mo Joe show.
Yeah.
He's adorable. Right? I think we got to go dessert on this. But I'm saving the one I like more.
Okay.
I'm going to go cookie dough brownie made with Twix cookie bar pieces. Not the one I like more. This is the secondary dessert. Joe Veleno, serving his purpose. He's in the bottom 6. We see numbers that are really good. You know what he's doing? He's starting most of the time in the defensive zone, and those numbers still look like that. Good on you, Joe Veleno. Good on you. Do you complete my meal? No. You're in the bottom 6. You're at the end of it. You're my dessert. You're my brownie bar. And you know what? There might be a better brownie bar option out there. But you, as my Twix brownie bar, I'm still going to eat every little bit of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait.
Wow. Matt's going to send a little cameo back. Oh, look at that.
Can you reply to these?
Yeah. I like the sweet idea, but I was also a little bitter for me because we didn't quite get a lot of output scoring-wise. He was a 4th liner. And as far as me ordering at Little Caesars, the 4th line option would probably be a vegetable. And that sweet, but just a little bitter. Matt, give me the black olive.
Ooh, good
Joe
one.
Black Olive Veleno. So
Man.
His name's almost an anagram for olive if you spell it wrong. So, I think it helps a vegetable pizza, right? It helps a fourth line that's got some warts to it, but not my first choice, and it's almost a necessary evil.
Now, performance art throws in there. I think Joey will come into his own when he's older. Mike, like I said, cookie dough brownie.
You're going to appreciate those olives if you put them in a big bowl of mayonnaise.
Well, you talked over my joke, damn it. All right, never mind. Now I'm upset again. You're getting a talking to at the end of this episode. Righteous, Joe's the piece you drop but eat anyway. Performance art taking a dump on Zadina already. Says he's rotten cheese.
Whoa!
Well, we're not there yet, performance art. We're at Simon Edvinsson, who had a pretty solid couple of games. So, I don't know what to do with this, because I really liked it. He made Ben Chiarot look serviceable. But it was like for a limited time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got this one.
Oh. Is the limited time coming into play? Because I was going to do that, but go ahead.
Yeah, no. Well, we talked about how terrible Chiarot was. And for me, that shelf life of the Little Caesars pizza is very short. But I think there's one saving grace. And I think that's where Edvinsson comes in, because that crust is horrible. But you can stuff it. So Simon Edvinsson, for me, is the stuffed crust option at Little Caesars, because even he could make a Chiarot presence on the ice digestible, and I could eat microwaved stuffed crust from Little Caesars 8 days a week, as the Beatles would say.
I'm shocked. I was saving that stuffed crust pizza. I'll give it to you. I was thinking more along the lines of the old menu item, the calzone that was shaped like Batman. So it was only around for a limited time. Wasn't perfect. I liked the experiment. I enjoyed it. Right? Yeah. It was like, all right, this is fun. Part calzone, part pizza. Yeah. But, you kind of hope it evolves as it moves along. We haven't seen a new version of it yet, similar to this Edvinsson's second season. But, if it comes back, there'll be another movie tie-in. And maybe we'll get a little bit more pizza than calzone next time. But either way, I'm going to order it. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'll be happy. Yeah. I like that. I ran into that one on accident. I kind of only had the limited time offer, but I ran into a pretty good explanation there. I'm going to pat myself on the back later when I listen to this.
That's your favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Lucas Raymond. What?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Now, power play. We got a power play boy here on our hands. Everything is in the top third of the league, ladies and gentlemen, on the power play for Mr. Lucas Raymond for the 2022-23 season. However, 5-on-5. Big. Stinky. Pile of dog shit. Bottom third of the league. Still, we know we're not worried about Lucas Raymond. We are grading this season. We do know it'll come back around. I'm worried because I'm scared about what I'm gonna do here, and I don't know. You don't look too sure of yourself either.
I don't know, man. This one for me, it's like, man, it was so good last time, and then you get it this year, and it wasn't quite as good. There's spots where it kind of delivers.
Yeah,
so it's a very particular. It's a niche part of a pizza that I kind of like.
Oh, okay. I'm curious
because I feel like it was better last time I had it, and it was the that nacho cheese that goes on the pretzel pizza. Because I really love that crust, and I feel like I kind of like a little. I just remember it being a little bit better, and then this time I was kind of like, I don't know, it didn't quite hit me like I thought it would. I'm gonna have 4 more slices, but I don't know. There was something it wasn't as good as last time.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking of it like this. I was gonna go slices and sticks.
Oh.
And kind of along those same lines. Sometimes, the jalapenos from Little Caesars aren't going to hit as well. But that first time, you're getting those jalapenos. Right, the slices and sticks with jalapenos. That's an actual menu item.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know, I know that this is a good thing. Like anywhere that you are combining pizza, breadsticks with cheese on top, yummy. You're going to make those breadsticks spicy. That's going to work. Sometimes it's a failure, though, through the Little Caesars system because there isn't enough around it to enhance it. The workers suck. The ingredients are terrible. But, if you put this in the right pizza oven, everything would be dandy. So that, I'm going to say, you put Lucas Raymond on a power play and things go well, that's because he's able to do the Lucas Raymond things. He's doing the rest of the season trying to make up for injuries, still trying to learn the game. Things just aren't there. Give me Lucas Raymond, slices and sticks, jalapeno, please. Not to mention, sometimes that poop later hurts.
Oh, speaking of hurt poo-poos.
Sophomore slump.
Just a few comments in there, because this was a tough one. Mike A., welcome. He said B-. And if you want to turn that into the form of a pizza, Mike, please do. And then
I think it's a butt.
A butt? Like a poop falling out of a butt?
Yeah.
Okay, I do like that. But I did like Dan B. a few comments later. Raymond, half off coupon, but for your next visit. Oh,
we got to wait till next year?
Yeah. That's a really good one. I like that one.
That was creative. I really like that, Dan. Cribs and Shadow. Lucas is a playmaker type of player. He'll set up plays and it's great on the power play. Yeah, but I need Cribs, and I wanted this to wrap into a pizza. Let's not forget about the bacon wrap crust. Just throwing that out there. GLJ, that was in the back of my mind. Almost picked that for Simon Edvinsson. It's a limited time offer. All right. Mike A. Pineapple pizza. No one agrees. That's solid.
That's pretty appropriate. Yeah.
And I might argue, maybe you're insane if you don't like it. All right. Got to keep rolling here. Chiasson, we could go quick with this one. This was a short stint, but it was effective. Some pretty good defensive numbers here. 28% projected WAR. Short stint, but effective. I'm staring at the menu now. How about a Buffalo Ranch Cup? That's not my first choice.
Make the case.
It's not my first choice for ranch cups. I'm going straight ranch. I don't need my ranch also spicy, doubling up the chances of hot diarrhea. But we saw the power play for Chiasson was working out pretty well. So you have the right things around him. You have that pepperoni cheese bread, maybe throwing him saucer passes, maybe bouncing pucks off his teeth. It works. Give me that Caesar dip, Buffalo Ranch. Alex Chiasson.
Wow.
Short of an explanation as his stint this year.
I mean,
Dan B's got a packet of red pepper.
Wow. Yeah, that's a really good one too. No, his role was kind of weird, right? He was just kind of break glass in case of emergency, and he kind of produced. I don't think I need or want a lot of them. That's where I think that Buffalo Ranch dip is a good choice. Just because I know that it was really good to kind of rescue, like a boring piece of Little Caesars crust, one that was desperate for some flavor, desperate for a little scoring action. But in the long game, it's probably going to be punishing on the exit, right? Ooh. Probably not going to feel very good.
I like it.
And it also means some real prospects that you actually want and need and make your body feel good are, kind of on the back burner while we give this a shot. So in the immediate need, it did rescue some very bland bread. I use the word bread, very, probably not the right one, but yes.
Mike A, leftover cheese dip sauce. No one knows if it's expired. And Crimson Shadow, he's a mystery pizza. You don't know what you're going to get when you open up that box.
Oh, a little Forrest Gump action. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Olimata. Everybody agrees. A solid season. Well, he did a great job of preventing the amount of chances. However, gave up so many while he was out there. He's still in the bottom half of the league of expected goals against per 60. Also, as all defensemen were, affected by the Ben Chiarot effect. It's too many effects. He got hurt by that and had to play with Chiarot on the wrong side. I'm going to do air quotes. Wrong side. So, defensive defenseman, right? He's got his job to do. He knows how to do it. He can even improve the garbage around him that he's sometimes forced to play with. And then, when Hronek was having his Norris season, it was when they were playing together. It's a good side piece, right? Dare I say it? I might just give him crazy bread.
Wow, man,
it's a big one.
Yeah, it's pretty top shelf on that compliment there. I will say that it's no longer a menu item at Little Caesars. You are allowed to go into the archives of the Little Caesars history to pick your items.
I didn't know I could do that. Wait, I already did that.
They had a short-lived tossed salad.
Oh, nice.
Because if anybody felt like
you're getting their salad tossed.
Yeah, it was this poor bastard. Playing with
cool.
His poor partner getting traded away. Having to play with Chiarot, and it's like, oh, what if we put a salad with this terrible pizza? Like, no. Now they're both just bad. No, I don't want either one. I want a good pizza. The salad doesn't make the pizza better. That's the problem. Salad, it's fine. It's salad, but it's
fine.
It needs a good pizza.
All right, I think I'm gonna pull back then on the crazy bread and go that direction. I do agree with you. I didn't want to use it. It was a struggle there. So I'm gonna go back, go into the archives. We will decide on the salad. Next up, Michael Rasmussen. Now, this projected WAR percentage really takes a hit because of the last 2 seasons. This season, Michael Rasmussen is back up in the top half of the league, and if you look at that chart coming from Evolving Hockey. Top half of the league, a couple of times hits that top third. Expected goals for per 60. That's one of our favorite stats. Goals for per 60. Expected goals against per 60. Just probably needs a little bit more. When he gets those chances, or when we start to fill out this team a little bit more, maybe there's an opportunity to put Rasmussen on the power play. But 27 minutes total for this year on the power play, so we don't really need to worry too much about that. Mike, this is. Look, I'm not putting Rasmussen on my top line, right? I know what I want from Rasmussen. And I know I'm going to be happy with it. And I'm going to use one of our top shelf pizzas here to get Rasmussen because I just enjoyed him so much. It's still not one of those things I'm going to open up the menu and order right away. So again, not on the top line, but he's a 3-meat treat for me.
Ooh, Bubba.
Now I'm going to give him the round style, which does...
It does knock him down a peg from being the deep dish. Yeah,
exactly. If you guys are passing on that deep dish over the round, you guys are crazy. But yeah, Michael Rasmussen, solid items. We got what is that? Bacon, pepperoni, and ham on that thing. We got a big boy, and I just called it the 3-meat treat. It's the 5-meat feast now. Am I correct? Or they both exist?
Yeah,
wow.
They do both exist. Yep.
All right, I'm going 5-meat feast. He's a big boy. We got to fill out those chunky limbs.
I don't hate it. That was my second choice for him. I'm actually going to go Ultimate Supreme, if only because when this guy went down, my God, this team completely cratered offensively, defensively, emotionally. So I didn't realize he was such a supreme impact on everything this team tries to do. And I think he's more of a supreme than, one of the 3 or 5 meats treatses, because he does have a little bit of onion where you're kind of like, yeah, I wish he could skate a little better. But man, does he have an impact defensively, offensively, and emotionally, in the positive for this team. So man, if you just took those onions off that pizza, man, what a product.
I really do like onions on my pizza. Next up, Filip Zadina. Ooh. Think about that. For this season, goals above replacement, according to Evolving Hockey, putting, ordering these guys up. Expected goals above replacement. Zadina up there. And you could see right here on the Evolving Hockey chart for Zadina's season, he's in top third of the league for preventing chances. Top half of the league for getting good chances. It's always been the production when he's on the ice. They just don't go in the net. It's crazy. So what do we do here? Because clearly there's something there. There's an actual pizza there, right? It's just, it's not hitting the spot. There's something missing. So I don't know if I'm going too far here because I don't like it as much as the pepperoni cheese bread. But basically, when you order that Italian cheese bread, you're getting a pizza with no toppings and no sauce. I don't want to give up on it. I'm not ready to give up on it. It's also cheaper than the rest of the menu items. So go with that Italian cheese bread. But there's something missing. Maybe he needs that ranch cup. Maybe he just hasn't had the right ranch cup. Maybe he ran out of marinara sauce. But whatever it is, it's not enough. It's there. It's serviceable. It's bread and cheese. It's yummy. But it needs that upgrade.
I do like Dan B's answers. Zadina, Little Caesars was close. He had to get a 7-Eleven hot dog.
Oh, oof. Where's Zadina?
You know, guys, I think this one's easy peasy. Little Caesars, you know, I think it was Dan B earlier. I can't remember if it was Dan B or not who brought up Buddy's Pizza when you find out that life can get better. And that's what you order when you're by yourself or you're with your partner and you guys want pizza. You get a good pizza, you know. Zadina is like that office party Little Caesars hot and ready. Because at the end of the work shift, you can't give those away. Nobody takes them home, and you end up throwing away like 10 boxes of hot and readies that nobody wanted to eat. And we just could not find a way to not sign this guy. He's got a 3-year contract. We could throw in probably a 2nd-round pick, and for some reason, nobody would trade for this guy. You can't give him away. Matt, for me, he is the office party pizza. But you know what? At some point, you're going to get hungry enough to try it. You're going to wait, make sure there's no witnesses, and you're going to be that GM who sneaks in and says, "Hey, I'll do a trade."
Man. So in this scenario, you had your pizza, and there's somebody else who's like, "No, you know what? I did my 4-mile jog this morning. I'm not feeling it right here, so I'm gonna pass on the pizza. Happy birthday, have a good one. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna have the pizza." And then a couple hours later, walks by it again. Here's his tummy. It's like, I'm going for it. I'm not that guy, by the way, so I can't relate. I'm already eating the pizza and I'm happy. So I'm Steve Yzerman and I'm the Detroit Red Wings fans. Next up, David Perron. Look at these fucking numbers. Perron is in the top third of the league, top half of the league, or in the top 25% in the league for all of his even strength. Oh my God. Wrap-em chart numbers. So he's got this goals for per 60 looking good. Corsi against per 60 is his best number. And even on the power play, top third of the league. Fantastic year for David Perron. 84% projected WAR. Actually, pretty similar if you look at his WAR percentile rank. Roll the clock back 2 years on a David Perron season. Pretty good. So David Perron, just solid all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good. And I feel like it's been around for a little while too, and we get to keep it around for a little while. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think they want to move this guy. I'm going to be pretty complimentary on this one, Matt. Because sometimes you can kind of overdo it with the ingredients at Little Caesars, and I don't think the ingredients are usually what I'm concerned with. It's the bread, and this guy's got really good bread, Matt. Give me the Detroit style deep dish pepperoni for David Pepperoni Perron. Man, do I feel like I could count on this guy all 3/3 of the ice. I honestly have trouble thinking of any Red Wings fan who would be against that. And that pizza, I feel like if you laid out all the Little Caesars options, I feel like it's pretty agreeable across the board for everybody. So I think that's a pretty good, pretty appropriate for him.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Not the explanation, but I was also going to go with the Mike. That was what the fuck? No, I was going to go with the pepperoni deep dish. I did want to come back. Dan B had a good call out for Zadina. Funny one. Picture of the pizza on the wall. Real thing never lives up to the picture. GLJ. I like how we see Wings players copying Perron's little one-handed puck handle. One-handed puck handle keep the player away with your other hand style. He's a good teacher as well. I don't know how we figure that into a pizza, but yeah, absolutely. I think this is one that's a pizza I've been saving. It's a solid pizza. It's one I order a lot, and I'll be happy to hang on to David Perron next year, not have the conversation of how much we're going to get back at the trade deadline. Please don't make me have that conversation. Next up, Jonathan Berggren. Look, solid season. And don't forget, again, these guys are ranked in order of goals above replacement. So even though these charts don't look amazing, he had a great year for the Detroit Red Wings in his rookie season, and one that Steve Yzerman said he wasn't even planning on putting him out there this year. He said injuries were the reason Berggren got his chance, and Berggren took advantage of that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Was there a pizza?
Oh, absolutely.
That matches that narrative.
As far as giving it a chance and not even thinking you're going to use it, man, I'm going deep dish. Hula Hawaiian for Mr. Berggren. Because I feel like people were keeping it at arm's length for the longest time. Like, oh, I don't know if he's going to be any good in the NHL. I don't know. And then, oh, yeah, this is real good. And here we are eating, rectangular prism ham and pineapple pizza. So, Berggren, I don't know what we were waiting for to try it. I'm so glad we did. And I think as soon as people give it a chance, they'll be on board with this little fella. So I'm very happy for his getting a chance here.
I'm struggling a little bit here because I want to tie it back into that narrative of like we didn't really know what was going to happen, and we're pretty happy with it, which is why I wanted to go Hula Hawaiian pizza this time. And I wanted to stick with the deep dish. But yeah, it's just really happy with what happened there. And I was very happy to find out what it tastes like when you put pineapple on pizza. I was pleasantly surprised, and it'll never leave. It's not going back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, well, I don't like it again. I love it. It's not going to be the thing that changes, my pizza loving forever. I have like my classics I'll always go with, and those might be on their way here in a second to talk about. But yeah, I'm happy with my Hawaiian pizza. It's yummy. It's tasty. And I will never go back. Just like Berggren will never go back to Grand Rapids. Steve. Mike Puce motherfucking Suter. Wow. Hell of a year. 94%. Mike, top 6% penalty kill players in the league. Even strength defense, top 14% in the league. Puce Suter, my man, sign him up. Keep him here. And also keep him low. Keep him low on that roster chart. Mike, he does his job, and he does it well. I took back my crazy bread earlier, and I'm going to use it now. Puce Suter does his job. Crazy bread does its job. And it's a very, very good side dish. Give me the crazy bread with sauce. Mike, you're shocked. You're stunned. I'll hit the comments while you think about it. Chewy says, Brian is my favorite. Deluxe with bacon and onion. Thanks,
Chewy, bless you. Yeah, I like that too. I will say that, again, Little Caesars is so much about that party experience where it's a bunch of people. And
marinara sauce.
You got to feed a lot of folks. And as far as kind of being there for all situations, being there for, the penalty kill, being a center for whatever reason, we can't figure out how to get these guys and make them produce. This guy, God damn it, he's trying out there. He's trying to get a little offensive action. He's getting some defensive action. As much as I joke about, getting rid of him, I can't. I just, there's a real value to him. He's a very malleable piece of this roster. And I can't picture it going anywhere. And because you're just counted on it so much, you've counted on it for hockey practices, for soccer practices, for kids' birthdays. I'm just gonna give him the large pepperoni round because it's a staple, and it's just been so important in so many facets of this fan's life.
That's a great explanation of I was kind of saving that one as like a classic pick, but that's a better use for it because you want to upgrade your pizza experience, and this is one that's Mike, it's ready to go. I love that. GLJ did ask which sauce. I went with the marinara on my crazy bread. Mike, Jake, here's another motherfucker. Jake motherfucking Walman, 95% projected WAR. Mike, top 5% in the league, just defensemen. We're not putting any asterisks on there. Yeah, I mean this is just great. I mean, top 10% in the league of expected goals against per 60. And we know he's got that wicked shot too. He's got that nice little play, dipsy doodling from the blue line and coming out in and throwing it over the goalie's left shoulder. I love that play. I love me some Jake Walman. I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to do stuffed pretzel crust with cheese sauce, pepperoni on top for Mr. Jake Walman.
Man.
This is such a great season for Jake and something that pulled Moritz Seider out of the, what do you call those? Quicksand. He was sinking away with Ben Chiarot. He just came in there. It was a beautiful masterpiece of a pizza. There's so much to like about Jake, too, on the defensive side, on the offensive side, and his transition game. That's where this crazy thing, this pretzel pizza stuffed with cheese, with pepperoni on top, and there's cheese sauce to dip it in. This thing's nuts. There's so much going on. But just tell me, there's no way you're not going to enjoy your night after you've had that pretzel pizza. So, and you know what? Nothing spicy. I'm not going to have a spicy blowout out of my asshole. So,
yeah,
let's do it.
I mean, you talk about really like a glue piece with tremendous value. We thought that this guy was just going to help us out on the cap sheet. And boy, did he ever help us out on the cap sheet by being arguably our best player for the whole season. But yeah, I mean, he helped rescue different defensemen's careers this year. Seider, where we were kind of like, oh my God, maybe he's really in a sophomore slump. And then Walman's like, no, bud, I got you. You get on my back, and we'll be a competent pairing. That's why I wouldn't limit him to one particular item. Matt, I'm going with the classic meal deal because if you just had one of those three things, which is the pepperoni round, the crazy bread, and a beverage, they're pretty good. But what he did is he was able to combo all three of those things. And there's just nothing better than having a sliced pizza, chasing it with some bread, and your body's just trying to process all that salt. And so you just need a little liquid salt and corn syrup in that bottle of Pepsi to really just get that nice, glop growing in your stomach. And Walman, you are the combo. You got it all. You got the pizza, you got the crazy bread, you got the beverage. I'm going to eat that and fall into a carb processing coma. And I am so happy. Walman, you are the combo, my man. Blake,
I like it.
Happy to see you.
Oh yeah, Blake, I'm glad you missed the Ben Chiarot conversation. All right, up next, I know the answer to this one. It's Elmer Soderblom. Mike, 83% WAR. He is in the top half of the league for all of our Rapham stats. The goals for per 60 expected, goals for, same thing on goals against and expected goals against, and Corsi against per 60. Our boy played pretty well. Went down to Grand Rapids, saw a coaching staff that's now all fired. Didn't get a lot of playing time, got hurt. So I'm you know what? I'm gonna come back to what I called out before. Mike, I'm going cookie dough brownie made with M&Ms. This is my favorite Little Caesars dessert. If you guys haven't tried it, it is really it's tasty. I really like those little things, and when I spoil myself with them, I'm a happy boy. But it's also got the cookie dough mixed in there, just like with Joe Veleno. We're not done baking these cookies, baby. We got we got another 15 minutes in the oven. This sucker needs, but it'll be ready to go. It'll be a cookie someday. But I was satisfied with what I was eating anyway. Even though it is cookie dough, it's not a finished cookie. I still liked it. I'll eat my cookie dough, but I know it could get better.
All right, Matt. Guy's got a lot of reach. He's a big boy, but sometimes with the reach, it's a little bit like eating food. We're kind of like, we're gonna put those together, and so a deep dish pizza from Little Caesars with vegetables on it. Matt, we're talking about a 6'9" beanpole with no meat on him. Matt, he is the veggie master, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I don't think you would have reached for the deep dish veggie of all the deep dish options. I think a lot of teams passed on the deep dish with vegetable option, and boy, do they regret it with all the bubble guts that they're trying to digest right now, knowing that they could have had some actual nutrition that's going to be long-lasting and long-reaching. Matt, Elmer, Detroit-style deep dish veggie Soderblom. There you go.
I love it. That was a good one. Dan B. Elmer's the take and bake, use at a later date. The Little Caesars pizza kit.
Dan B., are you just excited about 420 tomorrow, Mr. Take and Bake? Huh? No? Okay, we'll see, bud. I think somebody's having some green right now.
All right, and I reordered.
Did you save somebody for last?
I did.
Hey, no.
You know what? Let's not be silly here. There's only one MVP on this team. He's now the highest paid player. It's 91% projected WAR.
Matt, 2-time. Might be 2 or 3-time. I'm just saying, I know that you got all these fantastic numbers. He's got the eyeball test. He's the $1 million man. He's got the giant contract. Offense, defense. He's the emotional core of this team. Matt, in the movie Inside Out, every core memories because of Dylan Larkin. This is the extra most bestest pepperoni, which has been briefly retired, but Larkin is now a 2-time winner of the extra most bestest pizza because that's what he is to this team. And I know he's not in the top 25 for scoring forwards, but man, is he goddamn important to this team. So I'll take him ranking 26th in the league in points because he is the extra most bestest in our hearts.
Did you know that you could order an extra most bestest with stuffed crust?
I did not.
It's my usual order. So I go that route. I did, like, that's what I was saving. I just had the thought right now because I was like, I wonder what you could build. I think I might just say, like, Dylan Larkin is our custom pizza. He's everything we need this team. He's everything this team needs right now to, like, try and keep the morale up. You could see him out there, like Lucas Raymond gets a goal. First thing he's running over and patting him on the head and having some chat. When we have him mic'd up, we hear him giving his dad advice as a 26-year-old to little baby Lucas. I mean, the leadership, we've talked about it before. He'll just go crazy sometimes and just go beast mode. He's like, nope, breakaway goal. I'm good. You guys have fun back there. I'm going this way. He's clutch. He's a fantastic two-way forward for us too. He's what everyone thought, couldn't work out as a 1C, but you have that opportunity to customize your own pizza. You can make it good. Dylan Larkin earned his way into our hearts, earned his way as that 1C. Dylan Larkin for me. I would say I regret saving the stuffed crust, most bestest pepperoni pizza, but I do like the idea of going create your own. There's no limit to Dylan Larkin. That's my MVP. Dan B agrees with you, Mike. He went the 2 times pepperoni.
I like it.
Like Jared throws out there, Mark Pissick. Item not on menu. Just putting in a random call out to an item, and app comes back and says, there's nothing there. All right. Everybody, we did it. Dylan Larkin, custom pizza for me, for Mike, the extra most bestest pepperoni. Did you add that stuffed crust, sir?
I did not, and it's too late now. I'm sorry. I'll just take extra most bestest for Larkin.
I like it. It's still a great pick. That's exactly where my head was at. I got to thank you guys for hanging around. We've been doing this for an hour and a half, and I just found out my kids never went to sleep because I'm too loud. So I'm going to go at 9 o'clock, put them to bed an hour and a half past their bedtime, and get in a lot of trouble with my wife. And I love you guys. Thanks for hanging around, and we'll see you guys next week starting our draft coverage. Then we've got we're so close to those ping pong balls. Either Mike,
throw your ones up. Throw your ones up. Where are the ones? Woo!
It's so there's so many fan bases. Like that will be one of the nights they remember for so long. Or just doesn't matter.
By the way, GLJ saying stuffed crust if Larks was a point per game.
I do like that, GLJ. Jared says rest in peace. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate it.
Also, Dan, happy to be there for you so you can forget about twos and the brews. Blake, I'm sorry you came here late, bro. We'll get you next week, man.
Sorry, Blake. We'll see you next week. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.